When you're talking about time spread, you can talk about it in terms of if you're long the option with more duration, you're long the time spread. And if you're short the option with more duration, you're short the time spread. So let's keep going as far as diagonals are concerned. When you're talking about a long diagonal call spread, if you're entering into a long diagonal call spread, you're dealing with two options that have different expiration dates. They have different profiles as far as their duration is concerned. The long call option typically has a lower strike price and is closer to the at the money. Or in the case of, like I said before, the poor man's cover call, it is actually in the money because it's what you're using to use as kind of like a stand-in for the stock. It's what's giving you that delta exposure that gives you a synthetic stock position. In some, it gives you kind of like half of a synthetic stock position, but it really gives you more delta exposure than an at the money call or an out of the money call would. But usually when people put these together, they put them in as long call options that are closer to at the money, that are going to be more expensive. They're also longer term options. What that means is the short call aspect of this generally has a higher strike price with a shorter or an earlier expiration date. For this example here, the stock is trading 105. And what you're doing here is you're buying the 105 strike call in the farther term expiration, Jan, and you're selling the 120 in the out of the money call with a nearer term expiration, which is August. So are you long or short the time spread? You are long the time spread, right? You're long the longer dated option. So remember, we're dealing with a vertical here, but we're also dealing with a time spread. That's why it's called a diagonal. And so you have time spread elements to it. You have the August, Jan time spread on, but you also have the vertical part of it that exists between the 105 strike and the 120 strike, because you're long the 105s in the longer dated option and you're short the 120s in the shorter dated option.